How to not run out of things to say like a boss. Coming up.
It's go, 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 go time. Tick, tick, boom.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. How do you not run out of things to say in a conversation? It can be in any given situation. If you're approaching a girl, you're talking to a girl in class, you're talking to a friend. What makes a good conversation, and how do you flow? How do you continue the conversation to be interesting? That's really the most important part. There's a couple key components to this. Number one, you're gonna start off with a general idea of what you're gonna talk about, okay? You bring up a topic, right? Whatever that topic is. It could be politics, it could be cats, it could be whatever it might be. If you have really good vocal tonality and you're just like firm in that belief of like, this is gonna be good, then the person's inclined to listen to what you have to say and be interested, right? Because if you're conveying that something you're about to say is gonna be interesting, right? With you pausing through effects or, hey, I gotta tell you something crazy, they will listen. You have their attention. So now that you have the other person's attention, how do you flow? Back to this idea of a general idea of a topic, right? There's a couple things you can do. So you have this topic, right? You can make it funny, you can make it witty, you can make it serious, you can make it dramatic, whatever it might be. But what I find when talking to a girl, you really want to utilize humor. Talk, 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 talk. It should be 90% of you talking and 10% of them talking in the very beginning of the conversation. So how do you really get good at this, guys? Is you just practice flowing, just talking, and really just trying to pull out of thin air. I remember when I first started doing public speaking too as well, like speaking to middle schools, I had this general idea of what I was gonna talk about, and that could be on the fly, like, okay, I'm gonna talk to you about, you know, if you ask the girl or ask the person where you live, oh, I live in San Diego, that's where my parents live. It's like, oh, well, what do you know about San Diego? What do you know about that area? Is there anything interesting about that area? If you don't know anything about that area, then that conversation is probably gonna fizzle out. But what you can do is ask probing questions of like, well, where is a great area in San Diego? Like what is there to do, etc. And then what's gonna happen is they're gonna come back with something like, well, there's this to do, there's this to do. And then you're gonna say, oh, I've never tried this before. What's that like? But you don't wanna ask too many questions. You do wanna have statements in there as well. Okay, so question, statement, and then a tease, if you can. Like a great tease, guys, this is like a picking up girl scenario. If a girl says, you know, San Diego's super nice, I love the beaches, right? You know, whatever it might be, you could say, well, you know, I heard the beaches are very kind of like lame. Is that true? But sarcastic? If you're sarcastic, right, you can pull that off. They're like, well, no, it's not like that's my hometown. And you can be like, I'm just joking with you. I actually love beaches. I'm just pulling your strings. Wanted to see if I could get a reaction out of you. Just by myself saying that, guys, you know how confident I am just saying that? If you're just confident and you're not like too much pressure on the other person, they will respond well, even if you're dissing their hometown. Like you'd be like, yeah, San Diego sucks, huh? You're like, no, it doesn't. It's like, oh, I'm just joking. I loved your reaction though. That means you really truly care. A less reactive person always wins in any given scenario. So you do want to be less reactive, as well as you don't want to put too much emphasis on trying hard. I remember when I was first going out and I was like 13 or 14 years old, I remember I was talking to a girl and it was flowing, and I remember her saying, you're trying way too hard. Stop trying. And she wanted to continue to talk to me, right? And that's kind of when I had an epiphany moment and I stopped trying. And I just started being kind of less reactive, kind of just chill, like whatever happens, and I'm actually enjoying the conversation too. So if you actually enjoy what you're saying, like I'm actually enjoying what I'm saying right now, I'm actually enjoying using my hands, my charisma, looking at the viewer, looking at you guys, talking to you guys like this. I enjoy all this because it's a skill set. So you really have to adapt that frame of mind of like, you know what, this is something I'm working on. This is something I can get better at. And just, if you ever get stuck on what to say, all you need to do is pause, mini breath, change the subject. Okay, it can be anything. You'd say, hey, you know, I heard the weather is like really hot outside. What's up? And if you're random, girls love that. If you're random, people like that. People like when you kind of go back and forth between subjects, right? Another thing I like to do, guys, is talk about something, bring something up. When it gets really good in the conversation, it gets really interesting, just cut it off, go back to it later, be like, okay, hold on, I'm gonna get back to the story, but I want to tell you this so it would make more sense in this situation. Whatever it might be, if you kind of go back and forth between subjects, that will keep their attention span, as well as not caring about the reaction. So you can't care about what they're gonna, say to you if you mention something. It's all experimental. You will eventually find your own flowing state, I guess you want to call it, your own flowing state. Really all about energy too as well. Like even when I'm talking to somebody that I don't know, I just act like I know them and they feel super comfortable opening up to me. That's another thing as well. Just act like you know the person, like, hey, what's up? How are you doing? And it's almost like, damn, like, do I know you? No, you don't, but you seem really cool. What's your name? They're gonna open up pretty fast. And it's gonna make the conversation for you be that much more smooth. So having good comebacks as well in conversations, you don't have to be super witty. I'll be honest with you, I'm not. I do a lot of dad jokes, a lot of lame humor, but guess what? Everyone's different. I've had moments where I've made a girl laugh or made a guy laugh or whoever it might be. Maybe, giving a public speech and people are just dying laughing. And it's just because I just didn't care and I just threw it out there. I was like, let's see if this lands. Sometimes things will land, guys. Some things just won't land. Don't focus on whether a joke will land or not. Just keep pushing through. Like I said before, the more you talk, the better it is, okay? So for more content like this, guys, if you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next